What up, though? What up, though? What up, though? We are live. We will wait for people to roll in. I know, man. Listen, yeah, I'm a piece of garbage. You're not wrong here at all. I got to get my crap together. Absolutely right. Was super late on this one. I apologize for getting it started late, but seeing that this was kind of impromptu, I think I'm right on time. And No, but yeah, I got on a little late, but that's fine. But hey, what's going on, everybody? Hope everyone's having a good night. Just want to hop on and talk some basketball for a little bit, man. We haven't gone live in a minute. I miss all of my people. We got to get the courthouse back started up, and I figure what better way to get it started by just going live, man. Just hopping in, dude. The freaking going live graphic. This guy. Oh my gosh, Narajan, you're undefeated. Holy cow. Dude, no way this man just went and pulled out the frickin' this kid that went live on Cade's Instagram, dude. Like, oh my gosh, that moment was legendary, man. Oh my gosh. How's everyone doing, man? What's going on? We're in the off season. Football's finally starting up, which means basketball's finally starting up. We're actually gonna have some hoops to talk about in the next couple of weeks. Man, I'm looking forward to it. Oh my gosh. All right. So what I'm gonna do, I do this for Core House episodes. I'm going to drop the link in the chat. And anyone that wants to come up and ask any questions, talk basketball, there it is. Come on in, pull through. Let's talk, man. Any questions that you guys have about the Pistons, any questions you guys have about the NBA, any questions you guys have at all, man, fire away. Feel free to hop on in. The link is in the chat. If you want some, come get some. There you go. You can make it as terrifying as you want to there. But man, what's good, David? What's going on, brother? Thank you so much for hopping in as usual, man. Appreciate your support. Appreciate you always coming through, brother. Always good to see you, man. I am feeling actually pretty darn good today, man. Feeling good. Just man, I just really wanted to watch some basketball. Oh my god. No, Niraj, you do not have any time. I didn't really warn you at all, so that's on me. But man, I'm just ready for some basketball. The Donovan Mitchell press conference was today. Was actually just watching his interview that he did with Brian Windhorst, talking about going to Cleveland and what that looked like, and how apparently Donovan Mitchell was saying that he wanted to run it back with Rudy Gobert in Utah, which I call bull. But that's fine. If that's what he wants to insist, that's on him. But man, I will say you can't help but look at that and just selfishly go, man, I just hope that we're in for this awesome rivalry with the Cleveland Cavaliers going forward. I just want to see us like just go to battle against each other, go to war. I'm excited to see Isaiah Stewart and Jalen Duren versus Evan Mobley and Jarrett Allen. Like that's just a matchup that I'm unbelievably excited to see. But in addition, man, that backcourt matchup too. Cade and Jaden Ivey versus Darius Garland, Donovan Mitchell. That's gonna be that's gonna be fireworks, man. Like you better get your popcorn ready. That's all I'm saying. It's gonna be that good. But we got a whole lot of stuff coming down the pipes for this season. Obviously, talk a little bit today on the pod about kind of like the Robert Sarver situation, a little bit about what's going on specifically with, like with Dwayne Casey and like what expectations we have for them right now, what other things we could possibly be expecting this season. And man, I just it's almost here, dude. I mean, looking at the league calendar, September 23rd is when rookies and young players can start reporting to training camp. And then the 25th or 26th is going to be when other people actually start showing up. And then at that point, we'll actually get media day. And from there, we'll actually have some things to talk about. We'll actually start to be able to have some games happen pretty soon. Preseason's right around the corner. It's going to be so good, man. It's going to be so good. I think player development and developing team chemistry matters more than a specific win number. Cleveland needs length on the wing and at guard. Yep, I agree with you there, man. I think this season's all about just seeing progress and seeing a team form the identity, right? Like I think this past season we saw the beginnings and the remnants of an identity being formed. I think we saw like the foundation of what this team's going to be laid this past season. I think it's about establishing that and just taking it the step even further, right? Like, it's not even about like having a playoff run. Like, if we have like a run similar and like reminiscent to Phoenix when they went to the bubble and won like 9 in a row, they didn't make the playoffs, but they felt really good about where they were at. And it was obvious that that Suns team was different from there on out. Now, granted, Robert Sarver, double finger salute for there, right there, buddy. But at the same time, like that team, nothing to do with him. Culture wise and on the court, bringing in a guy like Chris Paul afterwards, they were able to do that because of the momentum that they got within the bubble. David asks, "Is NBA 2K23 any good, bro?" Dude, I have been putting so many hours into it. Here's what I'll say: on the court, really fun. The microtransactions are just egregious. Like playing my career, like everyone's telling me, dude, you got to go to the park. You got to go to the park. The city's where it's at, man. You got to be playing in the city. That's the thing. And I'm excited to try it out. I wish I didn't have to pay another $40 on top of the game to actually play in it. You know what I mean? Like, not to sound like an old man, but like, back in my day when I was growing up and at the beginning of my career and my player, you didn't have to pay jack diddly squat and you just played to grind and upgrade your character. That's the whole point, right? And now I go in and I'm trying to play, like, I'm not even trying to play online yet. I'm just trying to play single player against against CPU regular NBA games, and it's damn near unplayable because I have to spend $20 to get my guy to 71 overall. It's stupid. So like overall, like to me, I just think that's scumbag behavior. And it just makes me only want to play the modes that like don't have any money in it, but conveniently, the best content is locked behind a paywall. Look at that. But to me, I get that's just the way it is, but still still extremely scummy, in my opinion. In my humble opinion. I could be wrong, but I think it's super scummy. Detroit has great size on the perimeter. Cleveland is going to have to funnel everything into their bigs on defense, and that does not work anymore. Yeah, 100%, man. I mean, listen, it's like if you're going to have an undersized backcourt, you want that type of front court to be able to actually, you know, it's something that you're actually able to accommodate for because of the fact that you have that back line, like they are able to give that assistance, but at the same time, you don't want this situation where you can't contain anyone on the perimeter and then you're going to have people come through and you're going to have people come through and just mess everything up. You know what I mean? Like it's just going to cause so much foul trouble for guys like Evan Mobley and Jared Allen. It's just going to be crazy. Brother, thank you so much. I love this man so much. Let me tell you, dude, this guy, Nick McCarthy, not to solo anyone out right here, but this guy is my brother since day one. Literally, this is one of my best friends in life. In general, this guy's literally my brother. So love you so much, man. Absolutely. Thank you so much for coming in here. Nick's one of my guys. You're going to be my guy for life, man. I love you and miss you. Always. Like, dude, hope you come up to Michigan soon, man. Would love to see you. Love you, brother. NBA 2K23, notice you start a franchise from Lakers, Celtics era, Jordan era, Monitor. Yeah, dude, that stuff is sick. That stuff is awesome. And that free content and like that stuff that's like the love of the game. Like, I know the developers care. I know that they're passionate about it and like they're putting in good work. But like when a lot of your work's also just like, dude, like you literally can't go play in the city right now against people unless you spend $30 on your character. There was a guy that was like, yeah, I spent 70 on the game and I spent 60 on VC. That seems reasonable to me. $130 just to get access to base content in the game. Like, get the out of here with that, dude. That's highway robbery. And then at that point, you're pretty much just like paying to win. That's literally all it is. But that's a whole other conversation for a whole other thing. I could rant about that all day. I was literally thinking about making a video about it because it's like, dude, even if you go into the city, by the way, it's like, man, check out this really cool shopping district. Cool. I can go to a mall in game to spend my actual money on virtual sweatpants. Sick. Like, why not just buy an NFT at that point? It's just as dumb, just as pointless. but that's okay. That's a whole other conversation, full other different thing. But yeah, man, I'm just ready for some basketball. And I don't know about you all, but like now that we're in the preseason, now that like we're getting closer to the season, now that we actually know like who's going to be on the court on team for teams this year, now that like a lot of those that off-season movement is behind us, I'm just excited to see what actually is going to be coming up and like what we can expect from guys in year 2, in year 3. You know, like there's just a lot of different things that are going to be happening there. So I'm super excited about that. Those virtual sweatpants are beautiful. That virtual cardigan my mom got me. Oh, chef's kiss. I'm going to put it in my virtual closet. It's going to go great there next to my virtual baseball cards I haven't opened up in years. By the way, like, is there anything dumber than NBA Top Shot, by the way? Just like, hey, you get to own a moment in NBA history. And it's like, cool, you get like a Tyler Hero layup for like $50. Congratulations. Oh my God. I could go all day on that crap, man. But no, in all seriousness, let's get back to basketball because that's what matters here, right? That's what we're really interested in. Here's what I will say. As of right now, Ashton's going to be coming on Woodward Pistons Table Talk tomorrow night. So, barring any changes there, be sure you're tuning in tomorrow night to Woodward Pistons because my guy Ashton wants to come on and talk about some stuff, man. He's got some feelings. He's got some stuff he's excited about. So, as of right now, man, plan on being there. Ashton is planning on being on tomorrow night. So, if that's continually the case, if that ends up being what it is, we're gonna have a pretty awesome show tomorrow night, dude. So be sure you're tuning in for that. Go over and subscribe to Woodward Pistons. That's going to be a super fun interview. Dude, Ashton's just the GOAT, man. 100%. By the way, also, if you haven't already, you can also go subscribe to From Half Court Clips. This is just really just a clips channel. Like it's just a lot of the content that we're already making, but more, kind of like taking some of our takes kind of more bite-sized. Like that way, if you have stuff going on, you don't want to listen to me talk for an hour, you can go listen to me talk for 5 minutes instead. If you can only handle me in bite-sized increments. That I understand because that's how my family is. No, I'm kidding. But yeah, man, that is another thing as well. Go subscribe to From Half Court Clips because you want to check out all the content that's going on over there. But man, okay, I got to show this video too. My guy Downtown Deuce, he tweeted this earlier, and it's like I knew that some of the comments that Stephen A made on Cade and on Ivy and on this team, I knew they were a little off. But brother, this guy, he doesn't even know who he's talking about. It's insane. Let me go ahead and show real quick. This guy.
I understand they're building something. I love Jason Ivey. Wade Cunningham has made a believer.
Wade Cunningham? Jason Ivey?
Out of me. I like some of the young pieces that you have.
Do you even know the name of our young pieces, Stephen A? Do you even know who we are? Frickin'.
I understand they're building something. I love Jason Ivey.
Jason Ivey?
Wade Cunningham has made.
This man really said Wade Cunningham. Maybe it's because whenever he thinks of Cade Cunningham, he just associates him with the W's. That's really the only thing I can think of. But man, that's just not good enough. Yeah, if he's gonna call him Wade Cunningham, you better be calling him Wade Wunningham. That's all I'm saying. Is it just me now that Corey Joseph is the third string point guard? I appreciate him more. He can do a bit of everything and it hits over 40% of threes. Dude, Corey Joseph isn't a bad player. It's just about the right role and the right fit. Like the only reason why he was a starter this last year was just because objectively it was worse to have Killian out there in the starting five. Like for his role and for his sake, he needed to be moved to the second unit. And Corey Joseph, at the very least, was just able to like space the floor. Like he's a guy that like he's been playing basketball like long enough to where he's not going to necessarily be like turning over the ball that much. And I think he was just someone that like he's just like a steady hand. It's like when you're going into a surgery, you always need someone in that room that has a steady hand, right? So I think at the very least, just someone that's there, that stability point. Like you're not wrong. He's someone that brings value to the team, even if he's not like one of the best players. Like the value he's bringing isn't talent, but in these rebuilds and all this stuff, you just need guys like that. You do. Here's Johnny. Nice job on Woodward Sports today, Sean. I appreciate it, man. If you guys didn't catch it, I was on the morning show this morning and got into a little bit of a debate with Adam, and it was super fun. By the way, shout out Adam and Jeff. I love those guys to death. Always fun whenever I get to go on the morning show, and it was super funny because like at like we were just like Jeff was like, we ain't taking no Dwayne Casey slander, and then Adam saw that as like the golden opportunity to try Dwayne Casey slander, and it just didn't work. It just didn't work. That's all it is. I've gotten to the point where I can't lose that argument at this point, man. I just know I know a lot about that topic. And if you're gonna come at me with that stuff, you best don't miss. Need to tank one more year. Yeah, I wouldn't say that I don't even think we're even tanking this year. Like even if we were like in the lottery and still in like a higher up place in the lottery, I wouldn't even say that's like us tanking. Like I think both can be true that like we can get better this season and then still have an opportunity to draft in a decent spot in the lottery as well. Like even if the Pistons are drafting like 7th or 8th in this year's draft, like this isn't a bad draft to be like in like the top 6 or top 7. Like this is a deep lottery, and like the classes that we're getting each and every year just seem to be only getting deeper and deeper because we're getting more one and done guys. And like at the beginning of the one and done era, like the biggest problem was these guys just weren't refined enough. But now you're seeing all these guys that just are playing basketball all the time, and we're just seeing more and more finished products coming out of the draft. Like a lot of these guys, like even like Victor Wembanyama, like even if his body still needs work, it's like his game isn't the question, his skill isn't the question. It's just, can he stay on the court, right? Adam's fun to argue with, dude. He's so fun to argue with because here's the thing about Adam. Like a lot of people might like give him criticism or whatever. The thing about Adam is if he says something, he only says it when he believes it, and he's only gonna say it if he has something where he feel like he can back it up. And to Adam's credit as well, if he's wrong, he'll back down. Like today, he was like, "Yeah, you got me." Like he said, that, like you know what I mean. He was like, "Yeah," like he kind of backed down a little bit. So even though I'm sure he could have gone on for way longer, and I know Adam and I can literally debate anytime, anywhere, and I'm gonna have fun with it because I love that guy to death. So yeah, absolutely, man. It was a fun time, and I really do love I really do love going on. I really do love going on with those guys. Do we owe a first round pick? That's a good question. Let me look at the future assets that we have. So future draft picks for the Pistons. So this is actually another good topic. Let's look at what we actually have going on. So for the Pistons. So yes, so this upcoming year, it actually looks like it looks like there actually is a top 18 protected pick going the way of the Rockets. So it does look like at some point we will have something of some form that's owed to them. Let me go ahead and see if I can find a little bit more because to be honest with you, this website's insanely confusing. But it does look like the Detroit Pistons, they will have it is top 18 protected, like I said. So as long as it lands in that top 18, it'll still be our pick. I'm gonna go out on a limb and I'm gonna say that it's still gonna be our pick. I think we'll be one of the top 18 teams in the draft. So I feel pretty good about that. So for the Pistons, it actually looks like over the next few years, it looks like that like protection just goes down. So essentially this year that pick is top 18 protected, and then next year that pick will be top 18 protected as well. But then in 2025 it goes down to top 13, and then it goes down to top 11, and then it goes down to top 9. So that will be through 2027 is when we'll have those protected picks. So I would assume that that's probably not going to come into play until more 2025, 2026 range. And I think for the next couple of years, we're still going to be keeping that pick. But then after that, we will also have a situation where in that first round where, in the next couple of years, we'll still have our own. And then we still have other things as far as second round picks and things to deal with as well. So that first round pick, if it were to convert, would actually be going to the Knicks. And those picks have been traded around multiple times, which is what happens. Like that's just how picks work. So, but from F-Court, fun fact, the Pistons will win the 2023 championship. You heard it here first, ladies and gentlemen. Cade Cunningham, year 2 champion. It's happening, ladies and gentlemen. It's going to be great. But yeah, man, dude, we're only 2 weeks away. And like I think we're about 3-4 weeks away from from preseason starting as well. And like if you really look at it, like we're about a month away from opening night, which can I say, by the way, this is the most excited I've been about an opening night in a long time, and I was even excited about last year's opening night. Like even though like last year, like opening night was supposed to be like that was gonna be Cade's first game, that was gonna be an insanely hype environment. But with this year, dude, not only having Cade and like Jaden Ivey and Jalen Duren, like their debut with the Pistons, like those two rookies, but then in addition, we're gonna have Paulo freaking Banchero in the building too, making his NBA debut, dog. The 2 number 1 picks facing off. Like that's gonna be awesome, man. I'm just so excited to watch it. And like and also this like fun little mini rivalry we have with the Magic going on right now. By the way, can I just highlight real quick? If you haven't seen this yet, I stumbled upon this from Czar's Twitter because this guy's always tweeting heat. Which, if you're not following Zarik on Twitter, by the way, that is a mistake. You should correct. He is my guy. Shout out Zarik, all love, brother. But he shared this from the Sixth Man Show, which is apparently a Magic podcast. And this guy was repping his Orlando versus everybody shirt. Orlando versus everybody. Like, dog. First of all, it's like I love that this is like something that like every city is trying to like take on this type of mentality of like, yeah, it's us versus the world, man. But like Detroit versus everybody's actually a thing, and everyone's just hijacking us on it. It's like, dude, I get it. You're from Orlando. Not a lot of people give Orlando attention, but like, brother, who's going out there saying Orlando versus everybody, dude? Like, nobody. Miss me with that BS. 100%. Fun fact, it's not an actual thing. They ripped off Detroit. Dude, that's what I'm saying. Dude, Disney versus everybody, dude. Mickey versus everybody. Oh. Like, oh my gosh, man. A bunch of copycats, man. Dude, oh my God. I wish I could go into all the copycats I have. Golly, man. A lot of people are copying what we're doing over here, but that's okay. We're going to keep rolling. That means we're doing something right over here. That's all I'm going to say. But yeah, man, I still can't believe. Can I just say too, I I was playing 2K, and the first night I was playing like some my team stuff or whatever. And the team that like I'm playing against, they loaded up in those new highlighter yellow Jazz unis. And dude, I don't know how, but they somehow look worse in game in 2K than they do like wearing them. It's insane, brother. Like I don't understand how you could make a jersey that ugly. Like how did that, like, do you ever think about the fact that like someone's job was to make that jersey, and that they went through an extensive process of designing that jersey, coming up with that concept, and then there was a group of people that looked at that jersey, sat there, was just, doing their job, getting paid way more than any of us ever will in our entire lives, just sitting there like, you know what? Looking at it, this jersey's pretty fire. We should get this out as soon as possible. Like, dog, the second I saw those jerseys, it was like they wanted Donovan Mitchell out of there, dude. There is no way. Fun fact, Sean wears glasses because those jerseys permanently damaged his vision. Oh my gosh. Someone's going to be blinded by those, dog. Like if it isn't me already, like I'm just saying, maybe that's why I have the lazy eyes, because like I gotta look as far away as possible whenever those things show up on my screen. Oh my gosh, dude. Like, I don't understand how this, like, someone passed that and was like, dude, these jerseys have to happen. Like, oh, it's like they wanted Donovan Mitchell to get pissed off. Holy, I don't get it, man. But no, the more too that I play 2K, I'm not gonna lie to y'all, I just get more excited about Jaden Ivey. It's just I'm so excited to see him on the court and see his athleticism in the open court. It's gonna be a sight to see, y'all. I think he's gonna have a great rookie season. Seriously, Mickey Mouse is trying to steal Detroit cred, dude. I don't know, man. Listen, these Magic fans, I don't know what's in the water down there in Orlando, but I guess for them it's just like Orlando versus everybody. Like we got Disney and that's all we need. It's like, all right, man, good for y'all. It's like and it's so weird too, because like I have this weird thing with the Orlando Magic, or like this weird indirect connection. Because if you don't know, the owner of the Orlando Magic is the DeVos family, and the DeVos family is obviously very tied not only into the state of Michigan, but specifically on in West Michigan. On this side of the state, they're very ingrained, and so like seeing like the Amway Center and like all that stuff, and just all the DeVos stuff that's like surrounded around the franchise is just this super inherently weird thing that like is just in the back of my head at all times whenever I see the Orlando Magic. And it's just like, oh, but on the other hand, they have Paulo. Like that's a thing. Speaking of NBA and in the Jazz and news, I actually just saw an article that was put out that looks like, according to sources, looks like to Tony Jones of the Athletic, it looks like the Jazz are still working closely with the Los Angeles Lakers on some form of potential deal. Which, by the way, if you didn't see, by the way, um, the, uh, the clip where, Danny Ainge was just like, "Man, yep, this is why we made the trade. I just didn't believe in this team at all." Like, I still can't believe how blunt and how honest he was. But like outside of that, like there's still reporting of like what potentially like things could come. There are still ongoing talks with the Lakers reportedly, but it comes down to the fact that if the Lakers are going to want to trade that Russell Westbrook, that chip, they're going to have to give up those 2 first round picks, or at the very least one or two of them. And it's not like he's going to be playing for the Jazz if he goes to Utah. I mean, the idea would be to get this guy off the court as soon as humanly possible, right? But West Michigan in the house, baby. Yes, sir. That's what's up, man. West Michigan represent, baby. Although I'm trying to move east at some point soon so I could be near Detroit and be near the community and near players and near the organization and all that stuff. But that's okay. I still love my West Michigan, man. Still love the people over here. It's great. Grand Rapids is a great city. Love being over here, man. By the way, shout out. I actually met a From Half Court subscriber over here about this last weekend. I was going through a drive-through. I was actually doing DoorDash so I could go get 2K. And I actually met a From Half Court subscriber who was actually working at the restaurant. He was actually a super cool kid. His name, I'm pulling up his name right now. I believe it was Logan. He was just the nicest kid. Super cool meeting him. And it was Landon. I'm so sorry, Landon, dude. It was so nice meeting you there, man. Thank you so much for being a subscriber, being tuned in and supporting. And if you ever spot me or see me in public, man, don't feel afraid to come up and say hi. Would love to talk and meet a lot of you. And honestly, I'm excited to do that stuff this season. Like, if you guys are at opening night, I want to see you guys at opening night. Like, I want to meet as many of you guys as possible at Pistons games this season. So anytime I'm going to the LCA, I'll definitely put it out there and make sure I put even what whereabouts I'll be in the arena, just so anyone that wants to come say hi can come say hi. I'm definitely looking forward to that a ton. That covered bridge over there, dude, I'm telling you, that is a bridge. That is a thing. But yeah, man, no, seriously, like I want to do like even if we could do like I want to do some meet and greets at some point this year. Like even if like we all can like meet up before a Pistons game, like the most Monroe Street Midway or something, and hang out. If we all meet up like outside the arena, like dude, I'm just excited to meet you guys, man. It's gonna be a fun season, and we're just gonna have so many different things to talk about and things to do. But yeah, man, I'm just unreal excited for everything we have coming up. So another thing that we talked about this week, or another video that we did, we talked about what Pistons could potentially be in for a breakout season. We actually did a video talking about that. Jeff and I did. And if you haven't seen it yet, I would recommend go checking it out. It was actually based off an article that we did as well. So just went through, just kind of talking a little bit about who we like this season, what kind of things that we see. And personally, I think that we're going to have a pretty damn interesting season as far as potential breakouts, potential stars that are making a rise and doing things that potentially we haven't seen in Detroit in a while. Like I know Sadiq Bey, I think a lot of us are expecting him to have a pretty special season. And so I definitely hope that we get something like that out of there. Eric White asked, "Do you ever drive to Cleveland for Cavs Pistons games?" I've actually never been to, I believe it's the Quicken Loans Arena, correct? Unless I think they might have also changed their sponsorship. So I'm pretty sure that's what it is. But I actually really do want to go to Cleveland for a game there at some point. Troy, this past season, actually was living in Ohio. And so he was actually relatively close to the Cleveland area. So he was actually going to, he actually went to one of the Cavs Pistons games there. And he told me it was a super nice arena. He's actually going to be in Indiana, by the way, this year. And so he actually is going to get partial season tickets to the Pacers. And I'm definitely going to be heading down there with him to Indianapolis when the Pistons are there. So I'm definitely going to be going to a Pistons. Okay. Yep. That's what I thought. It used to be Quicken Loans. Now it's Rocket Mortgage. That's what I thought. Thank you. I appreciate it. But I'm a Cavs fan. Would love to see you there for what I can, for what I hope to become a great division rivalry. Dude, I'd love that, man. I would absolutely love that. And that's the thing I'm excited about with this trade. Like I know people like they always look at the rivalry and like their rival, and it's like there's like a hatred thing there. Dude, I love good rivalries, especially in basketball. And like we have been missing that in the Pistons fandom for like quite some time. Like I know obviously our big rival in like the mid early like 2000s was the Pacers, but like this Cleveland Detroit rivalry seriously could be something special. Especially like I know a lot of people are going to talk about that backcourt and they're going to talk about the matchup of Jaden Ivey and Cade Cunningham versus Donovan Mitchell and Darius Garland. But for me, I'm excited of the battle of the bigs. Isaiah Stewart and Jalen Duren versus Evan Mobley and Jared Allen. I feel like those guys could genuinely give Mobley and Allen some fits. And so like I'm excited to see those guys match up because I feel like it's going to be like kind of like a clashing of styles. I think you're going to have Detroit, like, both teams play like a grittier brand of basketball, but like Detroit in particular is just really building themselves on this like very tough foundation. So it's going to be great, man. Yeah. You'd have to be a good team to have a rival. Well, yeah, no, that's exactly it. That's why we haven't had anything. We suck. Yes, you're right. This is what it is. Oh my gosh, it's gonna be so good. What do you mean we have rivals with the Magic? I don't know. They just made a t-shirt. I think we're fine with the Magic. Who cares? The Detroit versus Houston, I'm definitely excited. I don't even know if we're rivals with Houston though. Like I think we're just rivals with a player on Houston. I feel like it's just, Cade versus Jalen Green. And it's funny though because like it's funny because like ever since the draft it's just a lot of people have had more so conversations about like Evan Mobley and again, my biggest pet peeve, can I say by the way, is when people try to do the redraft like right after the draft happened. It's like, of course, you look like a genius by saying Evan Mobley should have gone number 1 overall after he was the person that looked like a generational defensive talent. It's like, cool, congratulations, you're the hindsight general manager. But like the reality is like to even make any judgment of what these players are or who should have been drafted where after one season of basketball. And it's like when it's one thing when you hear like pundits do it like, in like local media or things like that. It's a whole other thing when you're tuning in on ESPN and it's guys like Pat, like, freaking like Kendrick Perkins, just like, absolutely, Rachel. These guys should have been drafted number one overall. It's like, dude, what are you even talking about? Like, has any of these people watched Cade Cunningham play basketball? Like, it just at a certain point, it just feels like I'm getting gaslit, dude. It's unreal. Yeah, man, that like even that rivalry, like the foundations of it were laid this past year. Like you're right, like it was competitive. They split the season series for a reason. And a lot of it was because of just how difficult that matchup was. I even remember at the beginning of the year that one game where we got our asses kicked by Cleveland. And it was just like, oh man, here we go. But in reality, as the season got on, we were just a different team. But Stewart beasted on Mobley. Go watch the highlights, dude. He was pretty freaking physical with him. He did give him fits. You're not wrong there. Cade's playmaking, passing, making his teammates better, way underrated. Dude, that's exactly what I'm saying. It's like you don't understand all of the different things that he's bringing to the team, to the court. Like those are things that are just like generational. Like you can't find those every draft. Like honestly, there's more Evan Mobley types coming out each and every year than there are Cade Cunningham types. There's not a whole lot of point forwards or 6'6", 6'7" guards who are dynamic, who can score the basketball, who can like because if you look at Cade Cunningham's game, he might have one of the most versatile talent, like versatile, like arsenals in the league with the things that he can do. The guy is an absolute sniper. Salute, brother. Hey, appreciate that, man. Thank you so much for tuning in, dude. Go blue. By the way, and if you're an MSU fan, I like MSU too. Don't worry. I prefer Michigan. That's where my heart is. I apologize. Cade is a generational talent. We've obviously not watched Cade play a game. And that's the thing, man. Like League Pass is there. And like a lot of these guys, like Stephen A, like you think he's paying for League Pass? Like that guy can just log in whenever he wants to. I bet he has like 40 logins for some reason. That guy can have access to whatever game he wants at any given time. And it's like I'm not even saying that like you have to watch all of these games on him to have an opinion. But dog, if this guy's calling him Wade Cunningham or Jason Ivey, then at that point, you just don't know what you're talking about. You just don't. Oh my gosh, man. Yeah. Stu gives Allen problems too. That's what I'm saying, man. Like these guys, like Isaiah Stewart, like he might not be the biggest center, but he's definitely going to be one of the biggest pain in the asses that you're going to be dealing with because this guy is just tough. He plays gritty. He grinds out each and every game. And then you throw in a guy like Jalen Duren as well with his size and how stout he's built and the overall frame that he has. Like, dog, it's going to be so fun to watch. Do you think attendance will be much better this season? How are season ticket sales going? That is a great question. Thank you so much for tuning in, my friend. I don't know off the top of my head how sales are going currently. What I can tell you is that I think the attendance over the next couple of years is just inherently just going to get that much better because I think you're going to have a team this year that for the first time in a while is going to be pretty exciting to watch. Like I think when you're looking at all the teams throughout the league, like the young, exciting teams, for the first time in a long time, the Pistons are on that list. Like when people are talking about the teams that they're wanting to watch throughout the season on League Pass, the Pistons are on a lot of people's League Pass lists. Like that's just the way it is. And the reason why they are is because of guys like Jaden Ivey, because the guys like Jalen Duren, to a lesser extent, guys like Marvin Bagley even are a highlight reel type player, right? So I think the Pistons, like for the first time in a while, like we're gonna this is a team that like wants to be based in defense and wants to be based in like sound principle, but at the same time, they've talked about how they want to go throw lobs, they want to have highlights, they want to be exciting, they want to play faster. So I think the fact that they're going to be able to do that, like that's inherently going to get people to buy tickets. And like Jaden Ivey, like he's one of those guys, like not only does he have talent on the court, but the guy is box office. The guy's going to be one of the more popular NBA players in the league at some point, especially if he has that type of game like John Morant. Man, by the way, do you guys realize how popular John Morant is? His Instagram following is insane. Like, hold on, let me look up his Instagram follow. Like, it's unreal. So this guy, John Morant, has 7.5 million followers on Instagram. That's insane. And it freaking skyrocketed this past season, man. The dude's a freaking the dude's an unreal. You watch Jalen Duren highlights, his blocks are ridiculous. Well, dude, not only that, like, like not even just his highlights, like a lot of the stuff he was doing in summer league, like when he was playing defense, like there were just flashes where it's just like this guy's just a different athlete, man. And then throw him into the conversation with other guys on this team and the possible lineup combinations. And then the fact that like at such a young age, he's gonna be able to learn from playmakers like Cade. Like, I'm okay with Dwayne Casey having him in his hands. Like, that's gonna be insane, man. Cade, Ivy, and Killian going to wear out Cavs bitty guards. Man, like that's the hope, right? Like that's the kind of like what you're hoping with this team. I mean, like when you're looking like throughout like the landscape of the league, we're heading to a point where like the game is just getting increasingly like more and more positionless. And like I just think that as we keep heading in that direction, I think teams like the Pistons are built for that era. I mean, like they have length, they have versatility, they have a lot of different things that they can do. It's unreal. John Morant generated 80 million social media views for the NBA in one night. Holy, like what? That is insane. I'm pretty sure at one point he was out gaining followers on Instagram and was out doing the NBA, like the NFL. Like this guy is just unreal, dude. Unreal. It's crazy. Should Livers start? That is a great question. Maybe. I think Marvin Bagley is going to get the shot to start at the season. And I think a lot of it's going to be pertaining on how he's playing on the defense, like on the defensive end specifically, like where his growth is in that area. I don't know if he's going to right away get a starting spot. I think he's still going to like get some consistent rotation minutes. And like, even if he is like one of our first guys off the bench, then like that's a damn good problem to have. But like at the same time, there's definitely a world where Isaiah Livers is a starter because he's going to be one of those guys that's just going to be consistent each and every night. Like you know what you're getting out of Isaiah Livers. You're getting hard work on both ends of the court. You're getting a guy who's a career 42% 3-point shooter, both in the league and in college. Like he does what he does. And that's part of what makes him such a great find in that second round, man. Like this guy was supposed to be a lottery level player and we got him in the second round. It's just great. Like a lot of people were talking this last year about like how good Ayo Dosunmu was for the Bulls. And don't get me wrong, that guy's good. Isaiah Livers is going to be better. He just is. What if Kevin Knox is nice? There's a world where he can be nice, man. Listen, from what I heard, like I've heard rumblings that like he's looking pretty good. But at the same time, like, when he was even picked up, I was asking around and I was like, hey, what to even expect of this guy? And like the things I've heard was like at the beginning, it was kind of even a wonder if he would even like be on the team, be on training camp. But like there's still a world where like that could be the case. And it's like one of those things where it's like, I hope he's good, but like, kind of like what QT just kind of said. It's like would be nice if Kevin Knox is good, but he's yet to show much in the league. It's like it's kind of like one of these guys where like he had a really promising rookie year and he showed like the foundations of something that like could be pretty good. And then it's just kind of been like ever since then. All right, cool. What next? What else? Like where's the growth? Where's the evolution? You know what it kind of reminds me of in that sense? Stanley Johnson. It reminds me a lot of that sense in Stanley Johnson. So I'm curious to see now that he's going to be on the roster. Now I'm going to be, have the opportunity not only as a fan, but like as someone that covers the team. Like I'm excited to cover him in that sense because to me, he's kind of the mystery to me on the team. But I'm definitely excited to see what will happen. Duran will change the paint for us. Absolutely. I mean, we were talking even on the pod, like yesterday, even just like we actually have a video coming out tomorrow about Isaiah Stewart. And like one of the things we brought up, like this guy just got a lot. Like Isaiah Stewart was being blamed for a lot of our issues in the paint this past season, which in my opinion is just unjust because if you look at everything that like was happening this last year, like y'all realize Trey Lyles was our backup big for the first third to half of our season. Like we had to put freaking Trey Lyles up against centers. Like in what world should we want that to be happening? None. No world. Nada. So the fact that that was a reality, like, dude, like at that point, what do you want him to do? You know what I mean? Like at a certain point, like really the thing was like, like he was good once he was on the court. He actually like, if you look at the analytics, if you look at statistics, like Isaiah Stewart's like one of the better bigs in the league at deterring shots at the paint. He's one of the better bigs in the league at the percentage of shots that were contested. Like he was a good paint defender, but the reality of it is like how much do you want this guy to do? He's already an undersized big. He's already having to overcome a lot of different things. He can't overcome the fact that his team was under athletic and undersized, and that's why, to Troy Weaver's credit, he went and fixed a lot of those issues. Like before this offseason, we were not a very athletic team. Now, Jalen Duren, Marvin Bagley, Jaden Ivey, Hamidou Diallo, Kevin Knox, for that matter. That, my friend, is athletic. So listen, man, he sees problems, he goes out and solves them. That's what makes Troy Weaver a good general manager. I want to see Cade impose his will physically throughout the post this year. Dude, 100%. Not even just like in the post, but just continue to do so in the mid range as well. One of my favorite things that Cade does, like one of his moves, I even asked Ashton about this when we had him on for the first time, was about the fact like one of the things that Cade does so well is like he's really good at using his hip to maneuver around the ball and like specifically to like keep defenders behind him. Like he'll like get into the paint, he'll like get inside the key, and then specifically he'll dribble and like maneuver to a point where a guy's like attached to his hip right here on the side, and he'll just stay there, keep his hip like extended, won't let him go anywhere past that. But then he'll maneuver and get to a point where he's close to the basket, and the defender has to make a choice. Either they have to try to extend and go for the shot block, but in reality, they're probably not going to be able to reach it. And even if they try to, they're going to get to a point where like they're not going to be able to. And if they do, they're going to be following him. So like that's going to be the thing is that like Cade, especially now that he's like working more on his body and like the transformation's there. If you look at the pictures from him day one versus where he's at now at this point, like Cade's already done a good amount of work on his body. So I think he's going to have that opportunity, not like to your point, not just like beat people up in the post, but like also in the mid range too. And just like inside the key, like that's where his playground is, man. That's where his playground is. I'm just excited to see it. Do I play UFC 4? I do have it, and I know Jeff plays a crap ton of it. Like, hold on. I can tell you how much he's played because I'm pretty sure on PlayStation and it's like this man's played like over 100 hours of this game. I'm like, dog. I'm like, is he like one of those guys or like he knows how to do all the submissions and everything like that? I'm like, yeesh, that is not me at all. I could not do that. But man, seriously, like, yeah, like I definitely like it. I know that like if I were to play online, that like I get my ass kicked, but like to be honest with you, that actually sounds like a lot of fun. So I definitely would be down to. By the way, if anyone wants to add me on PlayStation, feel free to. I'm gonna put my PSN right down here in the chat for anyone. So if you want to go add me on PlayStation, you totally can. I actually do want to start setting up some games and some streams of playing 2K and doing some stuff online. So like that actually is going to start pretty soon. And in fact, all right, this guy's played holy my guy Jeff has over 200 hours in UFC 4. My guy's going hard. I love it. I'm just messing with my guy. I love Jeff to death. I can't talk at all. Let me even tell you, I put over like 300 hours into this last 2K. I have a genuine problem. But yeah, I'm going to be streaming a lot more games as well. starting here pretty soon. And so, what I want you to do, if you're interested in that, I've been thinking about where I wanted to do that. At first I thought I would start with like some streams on this channel and then move it to a different platform later. But I think instead we're just gonna go ahead and rip off that band-aid right now. And so what I want you to do, if you're tuned in, and like don't make fun of the graphics too much because I started this like a little bit ago. But if you're interested in any of those streams at all, do me a favor and go ahead and follow Sean Talks Sports on Twitch. That's going to be where I'm going live to play games, but also just to do some general chats or things like that. So if you want to go follow that and support that, I will be doing more live streams over there as well. So if you haven't heard of this, I do have a Twitch. I haven't been live in like over a year. Uh to prove that, literally the last time I went live was during the Call of Duty Vanguard alpha, but I definitely will be going live on here more. So, yeah, if you want to be tuning into those streams, if you want to follow and support, it's over on Twitch at Sean Talks Sports. So definitely feel free to go and follow that because I will be going live more over there as well. Just like, just as like another opportunity, as like another platform to learn, as like another opportunity for me to go to learn some more. But yeah, we'll definitely be doing stuff there for sure. Support Sean. He's on fire with the TKO this morning. I appreciate you. In all seriousness, man, Chuck, you're such a real one, dude. I just appreciate you a ton. You're just one of the real supporters and always appreciate you coming into these, Chuck. Seriously, thank you so much. It means a lot to me. Really does. Case cracked. Has Troy addressed our power forward? I think we all envision Beef shooting more threes. If they are not there, then who we hoping undersized livers? That's a great question, man. I think as of right now, I think Bagley is going to be that starting four. I think it's just a better spot for him, not having to worry and have that pressure of being the sole paint protector. Honestly, like I see Marvin Bagley as like a better if he can like be like a roaming big as far as like a defender, I think that's where he's gonna like be at his best, if I'm being honest with you. So like I think the four is really his position to succeed. Will you have Ashton on? Absolutely, man. If we're playing games, I was already even texting Ashton. He and I were supposed to play 2K this last weekend. And speaking of, if you missed this earlier, as of right now, Ashton will be coming on Woodward Pistons Table Talk tomorrow night around 8:30, 9 o'clock. So be sure that you're tuning in tomorrow night because as of right now, we're having Ashton on and he's got some things he wants to talk about, man. So we're super excited about that. Ashton's one of my guys. That's a guy that at this point, not only am I a fan of, like just as like a trainer and as like what he's doing and like doing there, but I genuinely consider Ashton to be a friend of mine. He's such a good dude. The more I've just gotten to know him, not only just like through like the professional side of things and like learning what he's doing as a trainer and all that stuff, but Ashton's just a genuine supporter as a person, man. So I have an unbelievable amount of love for that guy. He's the coolest dude. I just from the interactions I've had with him and just the Cunningham family in general, although albeit it's been very limited so far, definitely been blown away. By the way, I do want to give a shout out to Cade. I hope I do get to meet him at some point this season, at some point in the next couple of years. I hope to start meeting some guys here soon. That would be awesome, man. Would definitely love to get to know a lot of those guys just because they just seem like good people too, man. 100%. Bagley looks like the power forward in the short term. Want to see him make some improvements on the defensive side of the ball if he wants to be a long-term answer, a power forward. That's exactly it, man. He's only going to be able to be in there as much as his defensive game really allows him to be, right? Like this is a guy that, like his defensive game is not really what he's known for. It's not exactly the thing that people are bringing him in for, but like at the same time, at this point, especially in Detroit, that's the thing that gets you on the court. Like even like Dwayne Casey, he even told Jalen Duren in the press conference, like, hey, you're going to get on the court by playing defense, getting back on defense, hustling up and down the court, and going for rebounds. Like that's going to be the thing that's going to keep you on the court. And like Marvin Bagley showed a lot of hustle on the offensive end. He just needs to transition that more to the defensive end as well. Because if anyone remembers this last season, people are like, man, why don't they start Marvin Bagley at the 5? Why don't they start Marvin Bagley at the 5? And then the nights that he actually had to start at the 5, the man got exposed. And it was apparent right away why this guy wasn't starting there, man. It was just ugly. So I just hope for his sake, he's a guy who, in my opinion, has a ton of talent. I by no means have given up on like who he can be as a player because people forget Marvin Bagley himself's like what 21, 22 years old. This guy's insane and still insanely young. So like the fact that like a lot of people are just writing off who he is as a player, like this guy's 23 years old. Like I'm older than Marvin Bagley. That's how young this guy is. I'm 25. It's crazy, man. Cade from half court episode would be crazy. Need it. Believe me, brother. It is a goal of mine. That is when we talk about like everyone has like their white whale, you know what I mean? Like the fish in the sea that they're going for. That's definitely the one. That is not a secret. I would love, love, love to have Cade Cunningham on the channel. Any player in general, man, we would love to have here on the channel. We definitely are getting there. That's something that we're working on. Um, I I alluded to something yesterday. I learned something yesterday that blew my mind. And all I'm gonna say, we're gonna have some cool content coming up pretty soon. We're gonna have some pretty cool content. Woodward Pistons and from half court alike. So be sure you're following and subscribe to both because there's gonna be some cool stuff. It's gonna be really cool stuff. Do you believe in the Cavs legend D Wade? Dude, that when I first saw that there was a player in Cleveland named D Wade, it's crazy. Like I wouldn't have believed it, man. It's crazy. Cade watches the show. I bet he has tuned in. I do know that. I know he has tuned in. So definitely appreciate Cade whenever he does tune in, or if any players do tune in. Always appreciate whenever people come through. But yeah, man. Damn, all four of my kids are older than Marvin Bagley. But dude, isn't like that's what I'm saying though. Like that's what I'm saying though, Gerald. Like seriously, man. Like all like Marvin Bagley's young. Like it's like we take and we make like definitive judgments on like what these people will be as like players and like what they're going to do in their careers when in reality this guy was only like playing for what? Like this was his fourth season his last year. And even then he was in Sacramento. Like, dog, what are you supposed to do? You know what I'm saying? And like, plus, like once he gets to Detroit, it's like, man, the lights at the end of the tunnel, man. Oh my gosh. By the way, I did want to point out as well. Be sure you're going and tuning into the Booner Sports Show as well and subscribing over there as well. Booner, part of the Woodward Sports Network, putting in a lot of hard work with our people over at Woodward Bets. Give this guy some support and love, man. Booner's the dude. Go check him out. And Booner, if you ever need a guest, man, would love to hop on with you and talk some sports sometime. So let's do it, man. That'd be fun. Ivy is nice in 2K23. Dude, he is. He is a bucket in 2K23. Him, like he's like 78 overall. His speed is insane. You can just cut to the basket and do a lot of crazy things. It's crazy, dude. Unreal. Beast, so you're just watching this in the chat earlier, bro. I still can't believe this guy. We're going to watch it again for anyone that wasn't in there earlier because I just can't believe how this is happening. It's just unreal. Like, it's like, dude, if you're gonna not know who these guys are, and also, by the way, this was from Downtown Deuce. So if you're not following my guy Deuce, you're also making a mistake there. Because Deuce is one of my favorite people on the planet. But dude,
I understand they're building something. I love Jason Ivey. Wade Cunningham has made a belief.
brother, Wade Cunningham. Come on, man. Like I get that I know he misspoke. I get it, man. Things happen. If you're gonna talk as much as Stephen A does, like I get it. I know I have to talk all the time now. I know I slip up and make mistakes. Like We were just like, for example, on the pod, we were talking about like the best executives in the league, and someone was like, Sean, you forgot Masai Ujiri. And I'm like, oh yeah, duh. Like, how did I forget freaking Masai Ujiri in like the list of best executives? Or like the other thing, like I said the other week that like that Slovenia won the gold medal in the last Olympics, but they actually played, or I said that they won the bronze medal, but they actually only played in the bronze medal game. They didn't win, so they did not place. Like, I know, I get it. I know I say things and I make mistakes from time to time, but dude, Wade Cunningham, Jason Ivey.
I understand they're building something. I love Jason Ivey. Wade Cunningham has made a believer out of me.
I, how? Like, how do you get it that wrong? It's just kind of mind boggling to me. Dude, you said it best, man. Stay off the weed. It's unreal, man. The guy absolutely needs to follow his own advice and stay off the weed. It's unreal. I can't believe this guy. Sean, the new Stephen A. No, no. Just I'll say this. I wish I had Stephen A's bank account. I'd take that. 100% would take that. You should watch the whole video. He said he feels a certain way about the Pistons. Yeah, I definitely want to go and watch some more of that. And I will say, like everything everything I've seen, like he did say a lot of good things about Detroit. There's just a lot of things he just got intrinsically wrong. I just can't believe I just keep going back to this comment about how Cade still needs to work on his motor. The guy's literally called Motorcade because of his motor. Like, what do you want? Like, how does it get like you can literally go on it's on his pro basketball reference page. Like it takes 20 seconds. You search Cade Cunningham and mother nickname Motorcade is right there, dude. It's like just do one small search, please. I just don't get it. I just don't. It's unreal. Over under 5 minutes of Cade's 2021-22 season minutes Stephen A actually watched. Oh yeah, definitely the under. No chance in hell this guy was tuning in. In fact, Chuck, I'll do you one better. I bet you the only time that Stephen A. Smith saw Cade at all this past season was when he saw the highlights of the Rockets Pistons game when Cade was playing Jaden Ivey in Houston, but even or Jalen Green in Houston. But even then, Cade outplayed Jalen Green that night, and everyone was like, "Yep, that's the number one pick." But I guess we're the only people that see it. I guess we're the only ones. Yeah, again, that's because we're the ones watching. But that's okay. But yeah, man. No, Booner, he said just had a new episode drop with Easy. So be sure you're going and checking that out as well. Definitely gonna want to go and tune in for that. From Court fun fact, Stephen A tried to watch Cade highlights, but Google didn't show results for Wade Cunningham. That or maybe that's what it is. He saw the wrong prospect named Wade Cunningham, and maybe that was who he actually thought he was watching. That's got to be what it is. Oh my gosh. All right, people. Well, I think that's gonna be it for tonight for now. But I do want to say thank you to everyone that's in right now, the 50 plus people that are watching at the moment. I seriously appreciate y'all a ton. I know we took a little bit of a break from the courthouse each and every week this past month. Honestly, part of that was just because there's really not a whole lot to talk about. But if I'm being honest with you, the other part of it was just mental health, just kind of for myself, just needed to take some time and just kind of recoup a little bit. But listen, man, seriously, I just am super grateful for the opportunity to do this type of thing. Oh my God, there's actually a driver named Wade Cunningham. I'm sorry. Hold on. I know I was just saying something serious, and we'll get back to that in like 10 seconds, but like, I need to look this guy up. There's actually, oh my gosh, there's a guy named Wade Cunningham. No freaking way. And this is like the most bland looking person I've ever seen in my entire life. Ladies and gentlemen, we need to make this face the new face of Pistons Twitter. Wade Cunningham. Like, this man is like if a vanilla wafer is, oh my gosh, dude. Like, oh my goodness, man. Like, I can't, like, there's a real person named Wade Cunningham. What is Wade Cunningham, or does he have man, the motor issues? He's talking about his actual car motor, dude. That's what it is. There's Wade Cunningham. Oh my gosh, dude, that is so good. Is that Jeff? No. Don't do my boy Jeff like that, man. Oh my gosh. Oh man, only 8 likes. Yeah, man, if you like this stream, be sure that you like the video. Definitely be sure to subscribe to the channel as well if you're not already. But seriously, man, I'm seriously super grateful for you all. I mean, a lot of you guys, whether you realize it or not, I do read all the comments. I do see all the tweets. I do see all the love, and seriously, y'all, I appreciate it a ton. If you don't know my story or really a whole lot about me, I started from half court a couple years ago as an assignment from my therapist, as something to do for myself, as something for fun outside of work. And then within a year, I saw it became an opportunity at Woodward Sports to cover the game I love and to do what I love. And so the fact that now the channel's where it's at, has as many subscribers and viewers as it has, but also the fact that there's people that call themselves fans of From Half Court, like the fact that I see comments like someone said today that, that listening to the podcast helps them get through the last couple hours of work. And man, if that's at the very least, like if that's where From Half Court ultimately stays, like, dude, that is a dream come true. Like, that is awesome to me, man. So seriously, like, thank you all so much to everyone that calls from that is a subscriber to the channel. Even if you're just a viewer, seriously, man, it just means the world to me. Because the other thing is you're just helping make my dreams come true, man. Seriously. So I'm super grateful for you all. Seriously, thank you all so much for being subscribers and tuning in and being part of the channel. I appreciate you, Patty Grimes, one of the other hardcore, loyals. It's absolutely a great time, man. So really appreciate y'all, and it's a good time. Seriously, I'd love to talk Cavs on a podcast and get to talk with you and Locked On Cavs, Relly, Crispy, Kenny. Yeah, that'd be fun, man, dude. By the way, Kenny, that's someone that we're definitely trying to get on the pod at some point as well. So that's definitely something that we're working on. Shout out Kenny Beecham, love that guy, everything he's doing as well. But yeah, man, it would be a dream to get to work with such legends. Absolutely, man. And dude, honestly, the fact that like I get to have the conversations I get to have right now, like the fact that like I get to call myself a coworker with Terry Foster, like what the hell? Like just the stories that guy has, the things that he's done, it's unreal, man. It's absolutely unreal. But we appreciate you, bro. Chris, thank you. Remember that time Sean accidentally clicked a button and then backed himself out of a stream? That's good times. But no, seriously, thank you so much, Chris. That means a lot to me, man. I appreciate you too. Thank you for being a subscriber, loyal viewer. Thank you for tuning into this as well. The fact that y'all even listen to me at all is crazy. Me and Crispy would be hilarious. Man, that energy, I don't know if that would I don't know if the world needs those two to collide. That would just be wow, that would be something, man. Alien Sauce, appreciate you too, bro. Seriously, thank you all so much. But with that, seriously, thank you all so much for tuning in. The Courthouse, I will be back live next Wednesday. Again, go follow that Twitch if you want to go check out any of those game streams or playing 2K or anything. Thank you to those that have followed tonight. Again, I will be live more on there as well. And I'll be tweeting out and updating when we go live here. I want to thank you all so much for tuning in. Be sure to check out the podcast from today if you haven't already. And again, we're going to have a video coming out tomorrow about Isaiah Stewart. So be sure you're tuning into that. And again, Ashton, as of right now, is coming on Wilbur Pistons Table Talk tomorrow night. So definitely be sure to tune in and actually go in and look to that. Remember the time Sean actually backed himself out of the stream? It's like, dude, I'm just like sitting here like this super nice thing. I'm like clicking on a button on my freaking. I can't believe I just did it again, dude. Holy cow, you gotta be kidding me. That's a sign that I need to go to bed. Holy crap. I'm not a real person. Chuck, you're right. Sean about to have to go have to live without sleep for like 8 months. That's exactly what it's gonna be, Chuck. And this is just the beginning of it. And I go mad or I don't get sleep. So it's gonna be great. But man, seriously, thank y'all so much. Thank you for tuning in. We'll catch you guys next time from Half Court. Be sure to subscribe.